What's up, YouTube? Triton Carbide here, hopefully bringing you a tip to improve your domination gameplay. I'm really one of the only ones that ever does this. I do not know why, but there's a way that you can get B-Dom about 50 to 70% of the time. Sometimes you might die afterwards, but the rewards are going to be worth it. Let me explain. First and foremost, you need a class. Primary gun that I choose is the PDW-57 for multiple reasons. One, it does have a fast rate of fire, and two, it has a 50-round magazine. You're going to be getting in a firefight while doing this, so you might as well try and outgun your opponent. If you want to use another gun, you're more than welcome to, but I would recommend an SMG solely for the fact that you can run faster than with an LMG or maybe an extended mag assault rifle. Two, you need the right perks. Lightweight, flak jacket, toughness. You might be able to skip all that one if you really want to get something else, maybe like target finder or a red dot or something like that. We'll talk about that in a minute. And extreme conditioning. Trick is, once the game starts, forget A or C. It's 50 points. Big whoop. Go right to B. Should be obvious as to why, but I'll go over it again in a minute. I do have the Bouncing Betty with this class. I think if there's multiple ways that you need to try and cover, I tend not to look where I'm going to throw the Bouncing Betty. Shock Charge, I tend to throw where people tend to come from first. One, it does slow them down. Two, it gives you an audible cue that, hey, someone just went to your left or to your right. Look there, shoot them before they even know what happens. All of these perks are pretty much needed in perk 1 and 3. Lightweight, extreme conditioning, I shouldn't have to explain why if you've played a COD. If you're really not that familiar with it, it makes you, well, essentially lighter, and you can run longer distances. You will be able to run from either A or C, more than likely to B, without having to stop. You're going to beat your opponent there. 2, flak jacket, you are going to get grenaded. This way, you can continue trying to cap B. You don't have to move. Just sit there, eat the grenade, try and kill the guy that just threw it at you. So, I do obviously have examples, so let's check out how this works. First example is on standoff. Look, just go right by C. Yeah, you can wait a half second, but honestly, time is money. I throw the shock charges right where they're going to come from. Right there he is. There you go. Essentially all you have to do. You're gonna die sometimes doing this, but look at that. Now this is in the middle of the game, so I did have a little bit reserved, but I had Hellstorm Missile, UAV, and Lightning Strike all at the beginning of the game. So you can stop at either A or C, like a sheep, or you can lead the sheep and go right to B, giving your team a better chance to win the game, getting you 200 towards your score streak. If you kill somebody, that's another 200 towards your score streak. So in the first couple seconds of the match, you could literally have 400 points stored up towards any kill streak that you want. Meanwhile, everyone's still trying to catch up to you, and they have 50. Not only that, but if you get B at the beginning of a round, you get 500 experience. Do it twice, both rounds of the domination. It's obviously 1,000. If you get a kill while doing this, you get first blood. That's obviously the 200 towards the score streak, like I said, plus another 500 XP. So if you get opening move and just get one kill each time, that's 2,000 XP per game that you haven't got before. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Now, what's the bad side about this? Obviously, you can die. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get more grenades than you can handle. Someone's gonna come from an angle that you're not expecting. It's more risky, but with risk comes reward. Now, some maps are easier than others to do this with. Easy ones I can think of, Raid, Standoff, Aftermath, Cargo. Cargo, you gotta get B right at the beginning of the game. All the containers are down and all the cover's there. If not, it could really be a nightmare for you to get. The more difficult ones, Hijacked, Drone, just it has a very long line of sight. Turbine has some weird funky angles there. Slums, it's just wide open and people can come from literally any direction, even over top of you. So it can get risky, it can get difficult on some maps. But once you start getting it down, you'll have a feel for where people are coming from. You'll have a feeling where you're going to throw those shock charges. You're just going to start getting it down. And more often than not, you're going to have a good 2, 4, or even 600 point opener. And that can be huge. Not only for the score streaks that you're going to call in, but it's going to give your team a really big leg up to try and win the game at the beginning of both rounds. Play the fucking objective. You chose to play domination. Capture and defend the points. Please, this is not team deathmatch. A couple other thoughts real quick. I have tried a couple other tactical items such as trophy system, flashbangs, concussion grenades. I don't think any really work as well as the shock charge. Shock charge blinds the enemy, slows the enemy down, and makes them very easy targets for you to hit. Trophy system, I would probably rank at number 2. It does do a decent job. I think the tactical really though might just be personal preference. Try a couple things out if you do this. You'll find something that you like. Maybe you'll find another complete way to do it that's specific for you, and you just dominate at. No pun intended. If you want to double up on the third perk, maybe not even take a lethal or something like that, go tac mask. You're going to get concussed, you're going to get flashed, everything like that. To be honest, when I run it half the time, after I get concussed or something like that, the enemy just takes their time to try and kill me, and I'll have 3 or 4 bullets in them, and they're like, oh my god, how did this guy even know I was coming? Well, that's how. I hope I taught you something in this, although I don't really think it's anything revolutionary. I think it's more or less just kind of common sense. But if you learned anything, or if you change your tactics and you like this, and you're doing better in domination games, give the video a like. If you want, sub. I'll have more videos coming out. I appreciate it, YouTube. Thanks a lot.
We're winning this fight. Securing Bravo. Friendly UAV inbound.
Kill confirmed.
Securing B. B locked down. UAV on standby.